customer here who wants a little bit of an electrical upgrade. So I'm going to just go through what I'm going to do real fast. It's brand new. I think it's 2018 Freedom Elite from Thor. So it came standard with one house battery. I've already taken that out. He had provided these batteries, but these aren't the deep cycle batteries. I would need adapters, and I wouldn't recommend not using deep cycle batteries for this application. So you're going to be putting two Group 27 deep cycle batteries in there. There's 12 volt. Now, when we're doing the two deep cycles, 12 volt, we're going to be running these parallel. So that means positive, positive, negative to negative. Voltage stays the same, amperage doubles basically. You add the amperage ratings of the batteries together. I know he initially wanted 6 volt batteries, but this box right here isn't quite tall enough to fit 6 volt batteries because they're substantially taller, and without modifying the step in the compartment, which would even be harder because it actually has to be underneath the wall on this side, so I'm not sure that it would even work anyways. I don't think it was worth the effort just to put two 6 volts in. Two 12 volt Group 27s. It's nominally a little bit worse than two 6 volts, but just nominal in my opinion. 4 6 volts, definitely you got a lot to upgrade at that point. One more time. Stay this time. Just stay there. Alright, so the first thing I need to check is to make sure that the batteries will fit. I probably should have done that before. Alright, so far we look pretty good. I'm going to put the negative cable or negative connection under the step. This is all metal. Oh, you probably can't see because I'm in the way. So I'm going to be putting this negative connection under the step here, under the metal, so that if any sort of catastrophic issue happened, it's not going to be pumping up into it. The positive will be outside of that. Alright, we got some pre-made battery cables to hook the two together. And you know what? I really should grab some more parts. Alright, I'm going to try these standard battery cable, battery straps, because the one that came with it was damn near impossible to get off because that spring catch was under here and you couldn't get to it. So these frustrating straps. Let's see how we do. Because that's what I do. Okay. So these are frustrating straps too if you don't know how to use them. There's a fits into a groove back here, or a clip, so it doesn't open up very much. Now these are just plastic brackets here, so you can't put that much pressure on them. Go up and then back down through the open one. And you kind of hold that open as you tighten it. And then as you tighten it all the way, the two teeth grab the strap. But what I want to do, since this is going to be difficult to get to under there, I'm going to go ahead and hook up this ground first. Alright, that'll be hard to get to again. So, I'm going to go ahead and spray it with some, I guess, battery terminal spray. Alright, woo! I can slide this underneath. Alright, and I can tighten it up. Let's see how the other one fits, see if I need to put a bracket right there to keep them from sliding across each other. Well, I feel like it wouldn't be a horrible idea. Damn it. I could either put them next to each other and put a brace on this side, or put two braces on there, or put one in the middle. Resist the urge to ever use wood around a battery. How it does. The wood just gets destroyed by battery acid and the fumes that come off of it. It turns black. Looks like it's been burning because I think technically it is oxidizing. All right, I'll just get some angle, make some brackets. All right, so here's my angle. It's not a very thick angle. It's just aluminum, so it's not gonna rest at least. So I'll just cut 2 strips, put a couple of tapping screws in. That'll keep it from shifting around. 7.5. I'll be back. All right, that fits a little bit better now. That worked out perfectly. Let's get some screws. Alright. So there's obviously framing under here and there, so if I just go here, I'll go into this sheet. Oh, sorry about that. This sheet metal. It's pretty thick gauge. Alright, one. Alright, now I can't deny it's going to be hard to check the water level on this battery. You should be able to loosen the strap, pop it up over there, be able to get to the water. I think it should be a little bit easier now. Alright, one more to go. Alright, so at any rate, the concept of these are this, to keep the batteries from sliding back and forth, especially when you hit the brake. Grab all my cables so I can see everything. Put you out of the way right there for now, so I don't have to hunt for you later. Alright. I thought this would be such a big job. Now, I know the age-old question is, how do you hook up battery cables when you have more than one connection on it? There's some people that like to put the main ground on the last battery and the main positive on the other one, so that, you know, the charge has to go through both batteries, theoretically. Well, it's parallel, so that's not really true anyways. On the series batteries, yes. My biggest concern is I try to eliminate as many terminals on one terminal, as many connectors on one terminal as I can. The more that are on there, the more likely it's going to loosen up, and that causes problems. So what I'll probably end up doing, because we have to have a battery cable from here to there, is I'll split up the positive. One cable go there, one cable go there. Try to keep it balanced. That way you're not all the way up the terminal with one nut holding everything on. So you never know if these things get twisted and they don't tighten up as well as they should. Alright, so enough jibba jabbering. Jibba jabba. Ooh. Let's see, which one fits better? This one fits better over there. So I might as well just leave it there. And it's a good idea when you're routing these to route them so they're not going to short on anything. At least that's the hope. I'll have to go underneath here and zip tie some of these cables up. You got to be careful when you're installing batteries not to cause problems that might burn the whole coach down. You don't want to be responsible for burning the whole coach down, trust me. So let me see if I can explain why I got different nuts. These are the standard nuts that come with the battery. They're stainless, they work fine. These I like because they have the serrated edge right here that grabs a hold of the cable. It's kind of a lock nut. It's not a consumable lock nut, I guess that's the proper term. Don't ever use a nylon on a nylock on battery cables. because quite often these can get pretty hot, and that nylon starts to deteriorate or loosen up, and so you don't have a locking nut anymore, and then you have a loose connection, which makes it hotter, so the nylon melts more. And you know, I don't speak from experience at all. I've never done that. Come back here. I wish I could grab you. All right, so now this is connected. All right. Trying to think. How do I want this one? Dummy. I think I want that one right there. You guys probably can't see anything, can you? What are you looking at over there? Is that better? I think you can see a little better. Try to get a little bit more light in there for you. There's some more light for you. All right. So that's hooked up. Now I can tighten these up. All right. Alright, so while we're here, we can decide why we're hooking up the positive first and the negative second. There might be truly electrical reasons. Some people talk about the alternator being damaged by hooking up ground first or positive second. My takeaway on it is every piece of metal that's in here is going to be hooked up to the negative bus. So if I hook up the negative first, anytime I'm trying to tighten this up, if my tool touches anything metal, I'm doing a direct short to ground. So until the negative's hooked up, you don't have to worry about that. So that's why I do positive first. Unless, of course, you know, it's easier to do the other way. Alright. That's tight. That's tight. Where's my strap? And I don't like to go under this or over, over the strap, the handle of the battery. And I like to use the caps as at least some sort of remedial retainer for the strap itself, so that it can't go back and forth and fall off. Alright. Now, by no means is it necessary to do this, but I like to write down when they were installed. Now, my customer had also been complaining the batteries weren't lasting very long, so before I hook up the negatives, I'm going to check for an amp draw. Okay, I got my ancient fluke meter right here. I'm going to switch it over to amps and put it on amps right there. So now I just have to go to the, you check an amperage like this, you're just going to go into the circuit. So this is a negative battery cable, so I'm going to connect everything up. I have 0.01 amp draw, so that's a 1/100th of an amp down to 0. Wish you guys could see that, but this meter is really old. I think it's old, about 30 years old, and I leave it out in the sun, and so yeah, I should get a new one. I did get a new one, but it's not as good. All right, we look pretty good there. Of course, you can use a clamp-on amp meter. That's what I normally use. But I'm in this position, I already have the battery cables off, and I find that those clamp-on ones aren't completely accurate once you get under a 1/10 of an amp. Do make sure you move your leads back over, so when you do voltage, you don't blow your fuse on your meter. Alright, so there, we're hooked up. I mean, do everybody a favor and try to keep the cables from over the top of these service ports. The more you can encourage people to actually check their water, the better. And you have to completely take all the cables off to check the water level. Nobody's going to ever do that. Alright. Pretty tight there. Check the battery voltage. Well, I'm not sure you guys can see anything, but that's 12.6. So I'll turn the batteries on. Got a step light turned on. Oh, we got a ceiling light. Oh, a porch light. You guys want to see everything I can see now? Ceiling lights are on. Patio awning light are on. I really like these LED lights. They light up really well. The biggest problem with them is where they put the wires right there. They always get damaged at the top of the awning. And some manufacturers stick it on using like double-sided tape. And double-sided tape does not work in Arizona. No matter what anybody says, it doesn't work. Of course, I'll let you see the battery voltage a little bit better this time. Hopefully. That'll probably be reversed because I got my leads hooked up backwards. So yeah, negative 12.55. So that's good. Now I just have to turn on the generator. Woo, or plug it in. Probably turn on the generator. It's not too hard to turn it on because I can turn it on right here. They say you should always run a gas generator inside an enclosed area. In fact, that's not what they say. Don't do that. Generator's going. We're just gonna wait for the microwave to power on. It's not even really that hot. It's very humid though. It's been quite a weird monsoon for us here in Arizona. Look at that. I got power. Can we see that okay now? Alright, let's see if our batteries are charging. 13 volts. Looks good to me. Alright, so our last check. On most, if not all motorhomes, the engine should also charge the house battery. It's not necessarily the opposite true, whereas when you're plugged in, 110 doesn't always charge the chassis battery. But the engine should always be charging the house battery. That's a lot of sweat. Should probably drink water. Alright, let's try this again. Don't go positive to positive, dummy. 13.78. It's good voltage. It's charging from the engine. We've done it. I can't believe we've done this. I just have to zip tie some wires up underneath, and that's going to be boring to watch. Thanks. Oh, also for anybody that's curious, that's the data plate for it. Napa part number, 800 amp capacity and 650 cold cranking amps. So for anybody that really cares, there it is. So I know I said I wasn't going to show this, but I said, nah, might as well show it. I'm just going to zip tie these cables up out of the way. The factory didn't, but I figured I might as well. And zip tie these wires. So they're not flopping about. Okay. Simple, easy. Anybody could do this.